Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Gabrielle, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Money with Friends. It is always a privilege when we have an opportunity to come to you to talk to you about money, life, and everything else. My gosh, every single week we always have fun because we have new guests with us, but also we always have technical challenges because this here is a work that's being done with a solo practitioner, and that's me. So I'm so glad when you are able to join us. I see we have friends who are on live, folks who've been calling me saying like, Gabrielle, are you going on? Yes, I'm on now, and I thank you for joining us. So every week we say on Let's Talk Money, we talk about money because money encompasses everything. So tonight we have a great conversation for you because of the fact that we've been talking about where your money at. I don't know if you guys familiar with the hip hop song, where your money at? And I wanted to bring that conversation, where your money at matters. Because at the end of the day, I'm a person of faith, you all know that. And we say that where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And I know because it's important to know where your treasure, your money is. One of the things that we talk about all the time on Let's Talk Money with Friends is that you must plan accordingly. You must plan for financial planning is important. It's imperative because financial planning will give you an opportunity to plan properly, to take care of your family, but also to protect your assets. If you are concerned about protecting your asset against what we would call gold diggers or con artists, it's very important that you protect your asset. And there are ways to do it legally, fairly, and humanely. And so tonight we're gonna have this conversation because we have friends here and we've had so much going on online, social media, folks talking about how, this particular international football player, what he did and how he did it and how that is impacting his family. And I wanted to have a conversation about that a little bit, but also to really open up the space so that we all can really have a candid conversation about what does it really mean to know where your money at and how can you protect your asset so that families or friends can be not only taken care of, but also you do it fairly and humanely. Being humane and sensitive and fair is definitely one of the reasons why we do this show on Let's Talk Money with Friends. So without further ado, I would like to welcome my friends who are on, and I believe we have one other friend who's going to be joining us. Everybody was running late tonight, but it's okay. You are here with us, and we're gonna do this. It's gonna be great. So why don't we have Tagoli, Cindy, I call her sometimes, have her introduce herself, and then we're gonna have Petit Frere introduce Roy Petit introduce himself, and then we're gonna start this conversation. Tagoli, why don't you go first?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Gabby. Good evening, Wa. Pretty. As always, it's a pleasure to stop by to your show, Let's Talk Money with Friends, and to bring this conversation to our audience. And tonight, I think we're gonna have a really, really great dialogue or conversation about one of these topics you choose for us. So for people who don't know me yet, my name is Cindy Shate Abelard. Most people know me as Kaguli Pitikine. I'm the CEO of Anakauna Fashion Boutique and a friend of Gavi. So it's always a pleasure to be with you. And as I said, we're gonna have really a great conversation. So let's do this.
Okay, yes. And Roy, why don't you say hello and introduce yourself? I know I met you through Cindy.
Hi, everybody. As you know, my name is Ronnie Pettit, but everybody knows me on my Roy Pettit. Sometimes some people call me Bounce Samdi, but that's what it is. And I want to thank my friend Gabby. I just met her. So on Facebook via Cindy, my friend, my best friend. So I think we're gonna have a good time and then talk about money, about like saving money or pre-plan. I don't know if I can say good, but before the marriage, something like that. So, but me, I usually listening, talk less.
Reckless, yeah. So we were having this conversation, Cindy, and I've had this conversation with several people who are supposed to be here, but I'm getting texts saying like, I'm not able to come. It's okay. It's okay because we do this show because we wanted to have relevant and timely conversation with connections, friends we have that we've met. And what are your thoughts? Because we said where your money at. It's so important to know where your money is at. And when you know that, how do you know? You plan, you do the right thing, like I said. But what are your thoughts, Cindy, about this case? Hakimi, everybody's talking about Hakimi, this football player from Morocco who decided to be a little bit too shrewd. What do you think about this situation? And for those people who don't know, Hakimi is a Moroccan football player. He's worth $70 million. He was married to a model, an actress. They had 2 kids. And because of some allegations and things like that, the wife decided to divorce him. And in the process, she asked to split his wealth 50-50. She wanted to have 50% of his wealth. But unfortunately, she found out that, gosh, this guy doesn't have the money because everything he's had, actually 80% of what he's earned of his assets, he's given to, he's placed under his mother's name. So everything he has, mostly everything he has. So what do you think about that? What do you think about the case? Let's talk a little bit about that.
As I told to you before, Gabby, I think this case, everyone gonna look at it different ways because of the culture, because of the society, education, and it's a really subjective question. So, in my opinion, I think Hakimi, he's not fair. He's not fair with a lady that he used to call wife and mothers of 2 kids of his. So I understand things happen in marriage and all that stuff, but going so far with a wife for someone that spent like almost like 5 years with you and have 2 kids with you, and you share lots of good moments, and you build up a family together, and realize at the moment of divorce and you don't have anything, like you left your wife with anything. I can believe this, really.
Yeah.
I think it's not fair, whatever. For me, it's not fair because we've 2 kids. Okay, yes, she's a mother and actress. She has her own money. She's a rich person too. But so many times, for example, in our community, we used to hear about that stuff. Like men, they marry you or not marry you, and we have kids together, and they just leave you like that.
Correct.
And you have the kids with you, you have to take care of them, you have to pay bills, you have to do all that stuff on your own by yourself. Yeah. So in my opinion, this is not fair. And I think for me, it's like a type of betrayal.
Yeah, it definitely is about
like actually betray his wife, because something I don't understand. I'll come to that you spent because she married in 2020, I think, and 3 years, you never know that your husband put all the fun he has on his mother's name. This is something I don't understand, but it happened.
It's hard to believe that somebody would do something like that, right? Because at the end of the day, you think like so many folks are rejoicing with him and they're cheering him on, saying like, well, way to go, man, because you did the right thing. But, as somebody who works in financial services, and I know how important it is to protect your asset, that's why, my introduction, I said, where your heart is, where your treasure is, there your heart is also. So if all your treasure is with your mom, I'm wondering if he ever had his heart with the wife, because all his treasure is with his mom. So obviously he was married to his mom, not to his wife. But at the end of the day, we know, right, Roy, that sometimes people do marry someone, and unfortunately, this person is not someone that they can trust 100%. You know, I don't know why you would do that. It happens sometimes because of love. Love is blind, they say, right? But you're making a decision to marry someone, but you know, oh, I don't know if I can trust this person 100%. Or you don't have to not trust that person. You could just say, you know what? I'm an older person. My family left me a lot of asset, or I've accumulated a lot of asset, you know, over the years. I'm gonna get married. What can I do to protect myself, to protect my assets, so that this person I'm marrying doesn't walk away with everything? So what do you think? What do you think is the best way? We talked about it offline, Roy. What do you think is the best way to plan in case of a divorce? Do you think that it definitely we saying the way he did it wasn't the best way? What are some of the best ways? I know we talked about the prenup. So what do you think about that?
All right. So I want to thank you for this kind of subject because it's very important.
Yeah.
And then for me, as a man, I think it's really not fair. Why? You've met someone before your marriage, you share some time, we spend some time together, and then we build a friendship, you build a trust, you believe in this person, and then long time after, so you get together and then after you get married. So how come now you don't trust this person with your money? And then you get like, you just married and then you got 2 kids. And then after several times, or I don't know when did they get married, but even 1 year, even 6 months, you got kids. Even if you didn't have kids, this is your wife, this is your husband. If something happened, just in case, nobody can ask you, nobody have to ask you. You have to share with that person, because you used to be together, you used to spend a lot of time, some good moments together. But the most important, you have kids.
Right.
You have kids.
You have kids.
For me, the way I'm educated, as I told you before, I had something before my marriage. What I did, after I married my wife, I put what I had before my marriage on my name, my wife's name. I don't care what happened, because if we have to plan something, we have to do it together.
Correct. So it's a commitment. You sign a contract. You sign a contract. It's a commitment that you're gonna take care of each other for better or for worse.
This
so I'm
is
not sure
the
where
only contract.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we at as a society, where we said, you know, like the marriage. I'm sure there went before church and there went before family saying for better or for worse, I'll take care of you. And all of a sudden you sitting there behind closed doors with your mom outside of her consent, without her consent, making decisions, financial decision about the family without her consent. I know, going back again to what I said, when you have a situation where you want to protect what you have, there are legal ways to do that. There are legal ways, right? The prenuptial agreement, we all know that if you have assets and you want to protect them, you go and do a prenuptial agreement. Make sure that wife, right? The wife, you do a prenuptial agreement, right, Cindy? We said that your wife or the spouse, you know, whoever it is, sit down with you and you said, listen, if something were to happen within 5 years, that's what you get. If something were to happen, you know, we get divorced within 10 years, this is what you get. But again, the deception, how do you feel about, again, I think you mentioned it, Cindy, how do you feel about that deception of planning with your mommy away from this person and really not giving them an opportunity to know what's happening?
I want to say something because I don't want to forget it.
Okay.
This kind of thing you're talking about now, it's like, I'm sorry, I just call this thing business. I can't do business with my wife. Okay, so the only thing I have to protect is my only family. I can lose all the money. I can have some money back.
Mm.
I can work again to have some money back. But if I lose my family, I can't get my family again.
Hmm. Wow, that's deep, right, Cindy?
Yeah.
That's
That's my
deep
point.
because that's his perspective. I think that's his
This
perspective that
is
we don't have.
this is my wife.
Yeah.
Money is nothing. Everything I have
Hmm.
is for her. Not
Yeah.
even for my son. This is for her because my son is gonna get married to a woman or to a girl. But my wife's gonna stay with me forever.
Yeah. So you said something about business. You think like because nowadays marriage, Cindy, please join us. Marriage is more like a business now that
No,
people don't see it as a commitment or even like in the spiritual realm, like a covenant where you make a decision to marry someone because you want for better or for worse, and you're gonna build a life and live a legacy. Because nowadays it seems like the very fact that mom was so instrumental in being part of this, to me, it's detrimental. It shows a sign that this marriage, again, where your treasure is, there your heart is also. His heart is with his mommy, not with his wife.
let me say this, Gambi, in that context. Marriage is for two people, not three people. I told you that before.
All
Correct.
right.
Family is man, is husband, wife, and kids, not mother-in-law. In mother-in-law, whatever it is, or sister-in-law or brother-in-law. Marriage is for two people. So I don't think the girl, she married the mom too the same day when she said yes to her son. So
Mhm.
I don't understand how she gets so involved in the at the point that the son can put everything on her name, and it's wrong. It's very wrong. And as mother, you should not accept something like that, because
You're right.
they say 80%. Okay, I can understand myself. I don't blame. I'm very supportive as someone that married a man, and I know that man has a mother that who raised him. I'm very supportive. I don't say that men don't have the right to support their mothers, because myself, I'm a mother, and it would break my heart if at a certain point my son like reject me. You know what I mean? But there's a limit for everything, and this is in this way I see things goes wrong with that situation, because mother, you have your place, and the wife has her place. So you can be involved in everything at this point that the guy, he puts everything on your name. What is that?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
again, going to planning. If he's thinking, I'm dealing with a gold digger, I'm dealing with someone who doesn't really care about me.
this is even because, let's say the man is a grown man, he's 24 years old. So I think he can choose by himself. And even it would be like I would say, good digger,
Mhm.
a good digger. We're gonna know she's a good digger because this is it. You don't have any evidence to know if it's okay or if it's not okay, if she is for money or if she's not for money. Because sometimes there's some people very smart. You're not gonna have any hint to say, oh, that person she's there for money, or that man, even men also they do the same thing.
Correct.
Or that man gets for this woman because of money. You're not gonna know, because they're gonna play the game. How you gonna say, how you gonna know? So this is not the matter for me. The matter is,
it's not the matter. Go ahead.
marriage is for people, and mother-in-law should not be so involved in a marriage.
Correct.
That's
marriage is for two people, and the mother-in-law, definitely you can see there's some dysfunction right there. There's dysfunction in the family because he's hard, because his treasure was with his mom or is with his mom. So therefore his heart is with his mom. But at the end of the day, I'm saying, like, as a person who works in financial planning, who does financial planning, who believes that it's okay to plan. We talk about planning, even having a budget, it's okay to plan, but you cannot plan outside of the person you're planning with or for.
You're right.
To me, it's very deceptive it was total deception for him to go outside of the home, the marriage, like you said, with two people, right? To go outside there and plan with your mommy, with your mom, against your wife, and she didn't even know, because legally he could have said, I'm worth $70 million. I would like to protect my asset. What I have, what do? I sit down with this person that I'm gonna marry with and plan. Yes, it sounds like a business deal, boy, but that's how grown people do it, and that's how responsible people do it. They set up a prenuptial agreement, so everybody knows what's going on, versus doing it outside. Because let's talk about, these people are rich people, and we wanted to have this quick conversation because it's in the news, it's all over the place. But at the end of the day, I worked in banking, and I've seen men or women run into the bank to close an account, to cancel insurance, to cancel services that their family gonna need, just because they're gonna divorce without the person knowing. So have you ever experienced that? Like a friend who's going through a divorce, and then she goes to the supermarket, swipe her card, and boom, the
Yeah.
account is closed. So that's at that level. All these people were saying like, "Oh, let's run to the bank to change your account to your mother's name." They don't understand. They don't understand for Jane or Joe, like your average Joe and average Jane. This situation here could be very detrimental financially.
Yeah, it's like a total deception.
Yeah.
I don't know, because now like the word becomes like crazy. I don't know, people doing something like, I don't know why I should protect, I don't know, anything besides like my family.
I know.
And
I don't know. I don't know, because
as I was thinking, and both of them, they have money. Money is not really an issue for this family, though.
Mhm.
And I feel like this is a gesture of humiliation for the lady,
yeah,
because this is not an issue. Money is not an issue.
it's not the money is
Even
not
he
really
could give like
the
20%,
issue.
40% of what he had. It's okay. He's not gonna get poor for that. So what is the point?
The point is,
A gesture of humiliation, but the thing, the guy didn't take up about the kids.
Yeah.
Because all the situation, the kids are involved in there.
Right.
yeah.
So
But-
later on, they're gonna say, okay, daddy did this, daddy did that, So this is
But
crazy.
I think the mom is crazy. The mom, she's wrong. She's very wrong.
She's a sociopath.
She's obsessed with her son. People
She's
don't
obsessed.
understand. That's why
And then-
going back again, this is a multi-millionaire, rich people's problem, and they're gonna be fine. I don't think this lady is gonna be in total destitution. She's not gonna be on welfare next month. She'll be okay because she had her own money. She's not as wealthy, but she'll be okay. But we're talking about your average person, because the people who are very opinionated about this situation are your average Joe, your average Jane, or saying like, especially the Joes, the guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but I said a lot
not
of people
realizing
agree
that
with
you're-
this guy.
Yeah, not realizing that your average person facing a similar situation could be broke and could be on welfare or could be on food stamp tomorrow, because you have a husband. How many times, we were talking about offline, how many times you have a guy who's divorcing, and instead of getting a legitimate job so that he could pay child support, he decides
Yeah.
to work under the table, not with mommy, but he does it
Mhm.
under the table so that he doesn't pay child support. He doesn't take
Yeah.
care of his family. Oh, I don't have any asset. I don't have anything. So I don't have to pay for anything. So that's the mindset, because the people who are making the jokes, who are showing the memes online saying like, these are all the men running to change their accounts to women. I worked in banking for 10 years. I know men have done that before, and women as well. But they've done that during a divorce, where somebody run in to change an account, to close an account, to take out all the asset, and really leave the person who has the children with nothing. How would you feel if that was you, your family member, your sister, or your mom? How would you feel? So that's the reason why this, to me, this doesn't make sense. But then again, we here to talk about money. Let's talk money with friends. We say to have a plan, right? So do you think, why that's why planning again? We talk about planning all the time on the show. What do you feel about that? You think it's
Yeah,
important? You
because
care so much about family. You kept saying over and over again, my primary objective is to take care of my family. How do you take care of your family financially? How do you plan for them?
okay, you know, without money we can't do nothing.
Exactly.
So if I have to plan something, I have kids, I have my wife. We're gonna put ourselves together and then let's plan something. For now, for the future, our kids' future. So we're gonna do something. Okay, we're gonna spend this, we're gonna save this money, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. But I can't like hide my money to my wife. I can't do this. Because if something happened to me, who's gonna spend money to save me or like bring me to hospital or then pay my doctor and everything? Who's gonna do it?
Correct.
I
Yeah.
can hide money to my mom, but I can't hide money for my wife. She's my wife. I married her. She's my half. So
How many of you are there one? Can we
A lot of men not gonna agree with you.
that's a problem. That's their problem. It's not my education. My education, I've been raised by my mom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 43. As a man, I'm in a good place to understand women.
Yeah.
And I know that's my job to protect all women, especially my wife.
Mm-hmm.
If something like that happened to one of my sisters, what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
I have 3 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I have female friends. I have like cousins. Because sometimes a lot of people, they're selfish. So now they keep on, Akim, you do good, Akim, you do good.
Yeah.
He's wrong.
But where your money at? My money is with my mommy. My money is with my mommy. What about
marry a mom? Marry a mom.
Yeah. Where your money at, Akimi? It's with my mommy. My mommy, but I'm married to somebody. That's deception right there. He's quote unquote trying to
It's a waste of time.
protect himself from her deception, but he was being deceptive. Correct?
This guy is he's a age.
Yeah. Yeah. He was being deceptive because again, we say that's a rich person's problem. Akimi is very rich. You know, we don't care about what he does because at the end of the day, this woman's gonna be okay. But for Let's Talk Money with Friends, we talk to your average Jane, your average Joe, people who are really living life every single day. They're counting on that person's check. They're counting on that person's income. They're counting on knowing that they're gonna have a home, a roof over their head. You know, if something were to happen, it's very important that you are honest. Yes, if you have family heirlooms, if you have family wealth, you coming into a marriage, guess what? Prenuptial agreement is available for you. You can always plan ahead. But I think it's very important. I think that's what we talked about over and over, Cindy, that you take the time to plan, but you have to plan with the person, not with your mommy. You plan with the person that you're going to be marrying, because at the end of the day, this is serious business, right? Marriage is serious business. And I love the fact that Roy kept saying, my primary. Do you think that's the reason why all these people are cheering him on? Because we've gone off and forgot what's the first thing first, what is primary and most important in life? The family. Roy or Cindy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Can you repeat? I think I lost it.
No, I'm saying, like, do you think that the reason why so many people are cheering him on is because we've lost the essence of who we are as a community, as a human race? At the end of the day, it's like family and community and, you know, like nobody's worrying about the fact that this young man just got a divorce and 2 kids are going to be living outside of without their parents. Most likely, if he treated her like that, he's not gonna be in the home. Nobody's concerned about that. Everybody's concerned about the money. The money. Let's talk about the money. It's all about the money. So we talk about it. What do you think about this statement? I know you're doing a challenge right now about planter pour cultiver. Like you reap what you sow.
Planter pour récolter.
Planter pour récolter, like reaping what you sow. Do you think that can be relatable? Like you can, what's the correlation between like when you reaping what you sowing? Because right now he's reaping something that he's gonna sow something. I'm not sure what it is, but it doesn't look good.
I think let's say si m'dap di lan créole, si ta gon on comme a kap tourner sou li, m'pense c'est nan ti moun yo la pied parce que whatever your decision you're gonna take, even you are mad, you are angry about your conjoint ou moun ka vo partner, but depi gen ti moun ki involve la dan, faut penser twice. Because nous même là nous gen on opinion non de qui jan nou wel de par rapport à ça nous comprendre de société de expérience non mais si moun yo encore young they young yo pas comprendre ça qui passe entre maman papa yo and then they're gonna grow and they're gonna have all comme si tout narrative ça or want that situation and plusieurs cas de figure qui passé au cas vinn yon nan ti moun yo et d'accord ça va pas te faire li reproduit même ça va pas te faire.
It's gonna be like an education.
You feel like in this pas trust dans marriage ça pas trust du tout. So en pile fois gen ti moun leur grandi dans genre de famille ça ou leur vinn grand yo même yo vinn pas quoi tout dans mariage yo pas quoi dans fait famille dans question genre de bagay ça yo. So li gen anyways la bonne répercussion. Et dans ce sens où dit en planter pour récolter, parce que c'est ça la pied. Parce que pas aucune décision yon parent prend côté que li depuis que ti moun la donne, li pas bon conséquence par rapport avec ti moun yo. Donc je pense que vraiment son bagay qui vraiment loin and je pense Akimi li manipulated. Parce que maman manipulé l'empile. Because I can see through the pictures, for example, the way, the intimacy she has with her son, li pa type of an intimacy mode that song love gadil because you can feel it.
Pride. She's too
it's
proud.
It's weird. Li gon type of intimacy even li pa ka caché li nan photo ou feel like c'est comme si madame a mouché. Comme si It's not correct. So, il y a un pile maman qui fait petit garçon yo ça. You're confused. You're confused petit garçon même là que comme si c'est maman qui dit ouais fort. Mais dans tête c'est comme si on pensait maman c'est madame yo. Maman pas madame ou maman c'est maman ou doit le respect ou doit un certain support. But maman pas madame and it's wrong so maman gen petit garçon pour faire comprendre vie en comme ça. Vous comprenez? Madame n'y a bol dans bouche, madame n'y a you know, c'est qui ça lié même. Ma beau mari mouillé ou bol mouillé tout bon. En fait comme est-ce que c'est comme bagaille là pas connaît.
Like you say, it's a threesome, it's a triangle. They lived in a triangle situation. But you know, you're right. Like I think like you have to have control. I've been in a situation where someone says, you know what, this person will leave you, but I'll never leave you. Like when you start teaching your kids, like you talk about education, boy. When you start teaching your kids, especially your boys or your girls, and start telling them that I'm always gonna be mom. She might come and go. You know, she'll come and go, but guess what? I'm always gonna be your mom, and therefore you gotta treat me a certain way, and you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I'm priority. You know, everything is under my control, and I think that's what's going on here. And folks who are cheering them on, not realizing that it's very dysfunctional. It's very dysfunctional what's happening, and it has happened in your average Jane or Joe's house. It's happened. You have parents who don't know their limits. They don't know where to come. They don't know when to sit down. They don't know when to stand up. And because of that, they create a lot of confusion. Like you said, This man, this young man, he's only 24. I think he's very confused. He doesn't know the idea. He doesn't have the concept of what it really means to be a husband and to be a spouse. Listen, money is not everything. We talked about it. This type of mindset as a society, as a world, is really destroying us, because everybody's thinking about money and not thinking about it. Because we talked about that. We said ethics and also the deception. You talk about it, master manipulator. What about you go around and did her in? What about if somebody goes around and do you in? When does it stop? Right? Why? When does it stop? Are you able to? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you say again?
Correct. No, I'm saying like when you go around, like he went around behind her back and did her in because he thought he was so shrewd, he was so smart. What about when somebody else, I think Dr. King, who says, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So when you are unjust to somebody, right? You went around and connive in your conniving way with your mom and decided to quote unquote surprise her. Okay, she's surprised. What about if somebody else goes around and try to surprise you? Because that's what's happening nowadays, right? One person lies, another person lies. We're talking about it, Cindy. I think like you go to the hospital now, people are lying. You go to the doctors, people are lying. You go to the bank, people are lying. You in a relationship, folks are lying. You in the home, folks are like the school system, people are lying. Like there's no exception to the world right now. Everybody's thinking that he wanted to protect himself. So he went and lied and deceived her and hid everything from her. And she got surprised. What about if you were to get surprised? Then what? When does it stop, Roy?
Essentially, it's like I'm speechless because honestly, now the word is like being like, the word becomes strange because you see something happen, you can't understand what's happening, what people doing. You can't understand that. You can't even understand their behavior.
Correct.
I really don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Because they do something like they don't do the thing they were supposed to do.
Correct.
They're just doing like the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People now, they just like, I don't know, everybody's businessman. Everybody's businessman.
It's all about money.
It's all about money.
Yeah. We talk about people being desensitized. Have you ever been, that's my last question. Have you ever been deceived or misled? And how did that make you feel?
No.
No.
Because I am with you. I am your friend. I expect everything. Everything. You do something wrong, it's okay because I expected it.
Oh, okay. So you live with that expectation that
Yeah.
lie to you, and okay.
If you do good, that's my pleasure. But you do something wrong, it's okay.
It's okay. So you've never
It's
been
okay.
shocked. What about
No.
you? Have you ever been?
No, I don't have time for
misled?
this thing.
Yeah. What about you, Cindy? Have you ever been misled or deceived? Like someone, for example, I mentioned here, in a relationship with someone, you think that they're with you 100%. Then again, just like Hakimi, they're planning with their mommy behind. Or you are,
Yes.
honestly,
I got Hakimi's ones.
Hakimi, but because I believe that only cowards do that.
Hakim is gonna become a vocabulary. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's nothing but a coward, and everybody's cheering on a coward because a coward, someone who's not a coward would come in, like I said, planning. You have every right to sit down and plan for your assets and said, you know what, I've worked hard. I've been playing since I was, 18. This is my money. And I love you, but this is how we're gonna do this.
This is not your money.
Well, I mean, he has the right to do that. That's okay. If he wanted to share 50-50, that's fine too.
This is our money. Everybody has 100%.
I know.
Gabby, let's say I got Archimedes. I got Archimedes
You
once.
ever be like him?
I got Archimedes once, but it was not money I lost.
Yeah, time.
I got broken emotionally.
Uh-huh.
And because I said I got Archimedes because the mother of that man was involved in the relationship.
Mhm.
So, en pile fois, c'est pas parce que quatre figures Archimedes, c'est pas seulement question de l'argent,
Right.
but parce que dans le divorce, tout le monde est affected emotionally too. Même si il va pas montrer ça, but anyways, somehow it take one type of intimacy anyways, que nous-mêmes nous ne pas connaître. Parce que depuis ces questions bagay femme à garçon, nous pas jamais fin connaître vraiment ça qui est entre deux moun yo vraiment. Even mother a capacité de comprendre tout bagay, mother ne doit pas connaître vraiment. So, en pile fois nous dans la société noire, si m'ta prend sujet à mettre dans la société haïtienne nan, gen en pile relation qui crasé à cause de belle-mère ou comprendre qu'à involve dans relation de moun yo, which is not good. C'est dans ça me dit Archimedes là parce que ou gen dans relation, gen pas marié, gen dans relation boyfriend girlfriend, ou comprendre maman fourre bouche. Qu'on pas besoin de qu'on vinn marié, maman fourre bouche. Ou comprendre imposer vivre la vie ensemble avec moun nan. Donc ça arrivé. Et à ce point-là, si c'est pas l'argent perdu, on perdu quand même parce que emotionally you're gonna get hurt because si maman ou mon a dit que non pas vle tel fils ça pour pas vle ceci pas vle cela, which is qui pas camper son fondation parce que mon li gen l'autre raison, vous comprenez qui pas vraiment solide. On ka comprendre maman tout gen wa toujours bay petit li conseil, c'est pas ça m'a dit non, mais quelquefois mon li même la push pour mon yo pas together, la push pour diviser pour séparer pendant ce temps que ça va camper soigner, c'est juste que mon ali gen wa jealous because of what you have with the son. Parce que maman qui est heureuse, non jeunesse yo pas de jeune garçon t'a traité yo bien, et then les petit garçon yo kounya là tout l'amour que petit garçon gen son fille la bail tout joli même il t'a aimé un garçon le petit garçon c'est comme ça peut-être l'autre fille. Gen pile qui quand tomber jalousie pour ça, and then ça parce que pas qu'à stand pour ouais petite la cap bail fille ça affection cap bail l'amour. Donc ça tout c'est son cas qui très commun dans la société haïtienne parce qu'en pile fois pile maman qui pense petite là c'est bien privé ou que lié non.
Les connaît même pour famille fille pour maman fille tout oui.
Oui, dans deux cas. So même penser que as mother on peut comme maman qui vous fait si moun fait ou fait pour lui même ou pas fait petit pour vous même. No. Yes, nous as mother on toujours expect qu'on petit gain redevance gratitude, même dire redevance non parce que ou doit ça. Pour gain gratitude, pour gon certain amour, affection envers vous même. Mais en réalité, as mother ou supposé capable enough avec tête ou pas capable expect que petit ou va faire travail que ou mari t'a doit faire dans la vie. Parce que ton passé déjà.
I think that's her problem because she's apparently looks like she might be a single mom who really doesn't have much to do with her time, and she's like has
exactly
monopolize. I've seen those monopolize the children's time. They want to take all the affection. They want you to give them everything. They don't want anything for the wife because they, you know, it's important what your parents tell you. It's important. For example, if a mom's saying like, this is a good decision, this is a great wife, you need to invest your time, you need to respect your, like encouraging you to love your wife. Guess what? That's what the guy's gonna do. But when you have a mom who's saying like, well, you know, if she leaves you, it doesn't matter.
When you have a possessive mom, that's
I'm
crazy.
always gonna be here. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You can leave her. I'm the constant in your life. She's not. So, you know, like you not encouraging your son to really take care of his family. I had posted something online. It says like a man who does not take care of his own, especially his relatives, like immediate relative, is worse than an infidel. And when you look at the definition of an infidel or unbeliever, this is like the scum of the earth. That's who they are. Because if you, again, that's why I love what you said, Roy. If your primary reason for being as a husband or as a father is not to take care of your children and your wife, I don't know why you're here. I don't know why you're here. And for you to be hiding stuff away from them and trying to quote unquote do them in, so that you could win, and people are looking around saying like, let's cheer him on. I don't even understand that. Again, the mindset, we have become desensitized as a society, and we have forgotten what's important. Now, we didn't talk about the wife. We don't know what her intention was. We don't know anything about that, but we know when you get married, you make a decision. If you are the one who has the upper hand financially, you must do what you need to do legally. You can, to protect yourself, but you cannot do it behind closed doors. You have to do it in the open, so that the person you deal with knows that you're not dealing with them deceitfully, but you deal with them honestly, right? Because everybody, I ask the question, what does it feel like to be deceived? What does it feel like to know that you deal with someone you think you are, you are clear
Yeah.
on things, and then everything is a deception, right? Have you ever had a girlfriend lie to you, Roy? We got hang
Uh,
up.
Many times.
Yeah, someone who
Many
lied.
times.
I'm
Yeah.
with you. I'm with you, but they're really not with you because they're planning something. If it's not with mommy, it's with another girlfriend, right?
That's their problem.
Yeah,
I had a girlfriend, she lied to me.
yeah, yeah.
I
And
was like
it hurts.
relaxing.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it didn't hurt me.
Yeah. It's weird. I think the part that really got
Because
me
I gave her my whole.
your heart. Yeah, yeah,
So she decided to lie and then like do something wrong. I said, okay, that's you, not me.
yeah.
So the next person I'm gonna give it more than you
Exactly.
because you didn't deserve what I gave to you.
Yeah, yeah. So again, there are some people who are gonna be watching this saying like, what is she talking about? This man had money, he had to protect his money. Listen, again, I'll say it. M'a dit en créole tout, ou gen droit pour protéger l'argent. Parce que gen legal way, légalement, capable protéger l'argent. Ou gen droit faire ça. Because as financial professionals, we tell someone, especially when they're getting married, have you gone to marriage counseling? Marriage counseling, when you sit down, some people, church folks, they sit down with a pastor, they talk about their marriage coming up, and also financial counseling. You go sit down and talk about the finances, and you talk about everything, how much you have, how much does he have, how much do you make, all that stuff. It's good to have those conversations, especially if you already built something. It's good to have it. How are we gonna spend this? How are we gonna save here? How are we gonna retire? All that stuff. And if your family gave you assets, like your family, you had inheritance, money from mom, from dad, from grandma, you could say, you know what, that money, I want it to stay in the bloodline, meaning like my wife doesn't get it, but my children will get it. So you plan for that. You plan for that, right? But at the end of the day, the planning has to be honest and open. It cannot be planning with your mommy on the side, hiding stuff, to the point where at this point here, I heard she might have to pay him because he technically has nothing, and she has more than him technically right now. So the reason we wanted to have this show to say where your money at, because I do believe, as someone who's a believer, that where your treasure is, there your heart will be also.
Your heart, yeah.
Deception, being unethical, being conniving, being someone who's planning outside of your home so that you can do your wife in or do your husband in, it's wrong. I don't care how you measure it. I don't care what your reasoning is about it. It's wrong. The reason it's wrong, because I have seen with my two eyes women who have come to a bank saying like, I was just at the grocery store and I cannot pay for groceries because my husband closed the account and he moved on with the girlfriend, or my wife closed the account and moved on with the boyfriend, and all that stuff, the chaos. Now with Hakimi, he's a rich man. His money could be hidden and the wife will be okay because she's an affluent woman. She'll be okay. But your average Jane or John, let me tell you, they're never okay, and they're not okay for years. I've seen people going from middle class to welfare pretty quick because the provider decided that they were gonna hide everything and not give anything to the spouse or the children. So we don't want that to happen. You can plan fairly, but it has to be humane. It's very inhumane to go ahead.
This is hard. This is hard to do it.
Yeah.
For me, this is hard.
Go ahead. Final word. Roy, what would you like to say for those who are watching, saying like, what is she talking about? He did the right thing. Every man is cheering him on. Finally, women are always gold diggers. Believe me, if we look at the situation statistically, most women are getting divorced and they're moved from middle class to poverty. More because
Yeah.
they don't get enough child support, they don't get enough spousal support. Many of them were at home working full time with the kids, and now they're divorced and they don't have any money. They have to go get a job and they have to take care of the children while they have a job. So trust me, your average person, especially those average people who are cheering him on, your mom, your sister, your cousin, and everybody else you know who's gone through a divorce is worse off. Ask them. Your average person is always worse off. But marriage has some benefits. We talked about love matters, right? I think you were on that show. When you have two incomes together, there's really strategy. There's really a lot of great things you can do together. When you have two separate income and the wife doesn't make as much money, or the ex-wife or the ex-husband, there's always gonna be many challenges to deal with. So, but at the end of the day, again, planning is the key, but you have to be honest, because that lack of integrity, I see that it's not only gonna hurt, it hurts everybody. You say there's a legacy, right? What is that what you say, Roy? There's a legacy. We think it's okay to lie to your spouse. What about when the doctor lied to you and give you a picky ou pas supposé te prendre? I see the doctor lied to you, or the attorney lied to you, or you call the bank.
Most of the time I drink tea.
I know, you call the bank and you say, hey, I need this and I need that, and they're like, they blow you off with a lie. You call your doctor and say, oh yeah, you need chemotherapy because you have cancer and you really don't have cancer. All they wanted to, it's the money. Or there's so many things that are happening right now because we lost ethics and we lost integrity.
Integrity.
Yeah, that's why in business, they're like business ethics, nothing. You got to learn that at home, and you got to learn it from your parents. Because by the time you get to college, by the time you get to the professional world, it's too late. It's too late to learn ethics, right? So that's why it's so important to think deep about what we are cheering. What we're cheering is really nothing. We desperately need to level up as a people. We desperately need that, right? Do you believe we need to level up? Cindy?
Of course, yes.
Definitely. We have to level up. We have to do things differently. We have to think about the consequences of our action. And being selfish, the word has enough pain like that. And what it would be like in this case, everyone who think that Akime's behavior is the best one, I'm gonna tell you that you are wrong. Because I'm going to repeat, family marriage is for two people, not for three people.
Not for three people. Even the kids.
I think, yes, and I think this is, that shows us that he's a grown-up man, but at the same time, he's an immature man. And I feel like he's very confused because he can't put everyone at the place, mother has her place and wife has her place. And he didn't think about the kids. So yes, I think it's unfair and it's really, really wrong. So this is not an example that really a man can take from Akime, or let's say your son, you're gonna advise him to do the same thing, because 5 years spending together, married and have 2 kids with someone, you share moments, you have intimacy with that person anyways, anyhow. So at the divorce time, there's a type of action you should take, because the lady, she's gonna have the kids with her. So as parent and as a father, you have responsibility towards the kids. So I think it's very wrong.
Yeah. And again, I'm saying rich people's problem. I'm sure, I hope to God, I'm not sure, I didn't read it online, that he is going to take responsibility and take care of his children and pay for the child support, whatever.
Let me
just finish, Cindy. I hope he's just not fighting with the wife. He's not fighting with the kids, just the wife. But at the end of the day, for your average person, an act like this, can be very detrimental. Again, that's the reason why on Let's Talk Money with Friends, we wanted to have that conversation. Go ahead, Cindy.
Yes, I would say I was thinking about if there's something legally we can do to prevent that. Because once the person, as you said, Gambi, someone knows that they're gonna divorce someone else, they go and they change everything about money, and surprisingly you realize that you have nothing as a wife or as a husband. I think we should find a way to stop that, because I don't think this is the last person who's gonna do that, because I feel it's wrong, but other people can feel fine with that. So for sure, there's other men, they're gonna do the same thing. So, but we have to find a way to, at the end, or at the time of the divorce, yes, to protect those mom, because the wife, she's a mom. So to protect those mom with the kids at the divorce time.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, we talked about the prenuptial agreement, but I know in America, like if you are in the process of a divorce, you cannot close. You're not allowed to start closing things. And if you do, the attorney is gonna take a look at what you closed recently, and they're gonna ask what's going on here. But again, he's probably was very like I say, what's the word when like you premeditated murder.
Exactly.
Prior to the divorce probably started, prior to everything, and he started transferring everything to his mom's name, or he always had it going on, and the wife married him without knowing that. But again, honesty is the best policy. Honesty, I know we've drifted away from the word honesty. You know, we were saying it, Cindy. I know we passed time, but we were saying, like, I remember when I was little, like lying was a major thing. Like lying to your parents was like, oh my gosh, you just lied, and there were consequences for that. Why is it nowadays we think everything is non-consequential? We can lie to this girl, lie to that girl, lie to everybody to just get what we want, and not think that it's consequential. Like we will reap what we sow. There will be karma. Why is it that
exactly,
everything is non-consequential?
You lie to someone else gonna lie to you.
Someone gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
That's
in
life.
the Archimedes case, I don't think it's about lying. It's about hiding. It's most likely about integrity. How you say integrity? It's most likely about that. Integrity. It's most likely about integrity and about honesty. But he didn't lie to the wife, but hiding is for me is betrayal. You know, so he betrayed the wife.
But he did two things to the wife. He lied to her, and then he hid something from her, because I think the mom is wrong. In this case, the mom is wrong.
Moms are usually wrong. Those moms, controlling moms, they're usually
As a mom, you know that guy has 2 kids.
Come see
How did you accept that?
And again,
that's very wrong. So, oh Lord. And then ça fait me passer pour une fille. Nous apprenons dans cadre ça, une fille non mariage ou pas qu'un non mariage 2 jours fermé. Un fille, okay, they say, okay, I trust my husband or I trust my wife and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, for nous connaître ça human being, not no one affair. So no matter 100% that this person when ça li pas try yon lè ou bien pas bon menti ou bien bagay. Je pense que non mariage fait pour moun qui mature. Mariage pas fait pour si moun petit adolescent qui fait tirer, c'est des grands moun then nous connaît que depuis petit moun qui va rentrer dans causerie faut ou aware. So ça fait me penser qu'on fille ou l'on mariage ou pas supposé des jours fermés and then ma ou occupé de tout bagay and you don't have any can awareness about what's going on legally na papier na tout ça qu'a prédit under famille. Parce que me connaît des hommes, me connaît des moun qui comme ça yo pas connaît, yo connaît ça qu'a régler. Même si ou pas connaît ou pas tel papier ou pas garder tel côté dit non, pas connaît li pas bon accès, dit non, il pas li ou c'est madame moun nan, ou supposé connaît qui
Yeah.
ça ka passé dans account li, ou supposé connaît ça ka
Yeah.
passé dans tout bagay qui concerne ou même avec because
Tout ça qu'a fait, supposé faire ensemble.
ou supposé connaît et supposé faire ensemble parce qu'on vivent dans même caverne, moun ap dormi dedo chaque soir, ou après le mari ou comprendre l'autre devant amour, ou dit my husband.
I'm gonna tell you something.
But pendant ce temps,
L'autre-
ou deux fait dans mariage et puis là, moun nan bon coup. Ou arrêter quoi ça, ou prend temps. Non, il va pas faire ça.
Let's work.
Madame,
Go
moi,
ahead.
te
You have
connais.
something to say. Mhm.
Madame, moi, te connais chaque centime qui vient sur account, moi. On t'a travaillé, mais on fait job sous côté. Job sous côté, d'ailleurs, c'est pour moi accès. Si me besoin pour un client, pour moi.
Son bon garçon est là.
But you know what? That's how it works.
Are you still married?
But the truth is, that's how it works. That's how it works. Because it going back again, like people don't understand. They don't understand. You go and deceive someone because you wanna go over. Like you
That's your problem.
You
Because
deceive
my
them because you want.
education, that's my education.
Mhm.
That's my education. Parce que je gagne 3 sœurs, mon maman. C'est maman seule qui lève. Et il pas comme maman pas. Il pas pressuré comme c'est pour le dire moi elle a toujours maman. Et me connais si maman toujours maman. C'est moi qui doit connaître moi pour dire ça d'ailleurs.
Yeah.
Je toujours dis ça, je dois toujours maman, mais madame m'a toujours madame moi.
Yeah. Yeah, that's priority because you leave your mother and your father and united with your wife in the two. So sometimes it's not the mother, sometimes it's the big sister, sometimes it's like somebody else in the family who's trying to take control. Again, we want to have this conversation because, knowing where your money's at, because where your money's at is where your heart is. And if you have a family, you decided to start a family, you have to make sure you provide for them.
Not even my money. Where my family is
everything.
there is my treasure. The money comes after.
Yeah, your treasure including your money. So everything is there. So again, rich people's problem. What's his name again? This gentleman that we're talking about, he's
Hakimi.
I don't care so much about him because to me he's nobody that I want to cheer on. But Hakimi is did what he did, but this woman is an affluent woman. She'll be okay. Her kids are not gonna be in total destitution. They're gonna be fine. But your average person who gets Hakimi, like the joke that are online, let me tell you, it could be generational destitution, generational poverty. That's what you're gonna be. So we don't want poverty, we want wealth. We want wealth. Love matters, legacy matters, education matters, attitude matters. My gosh, everything matters because money matters. So I would like to thank you so much for watching us tonight. I know we're a little off because we started a little off. We missed out on some people who are supposed to be here. But Let's Talk Money with Friends, we tell everyone to let your friends know. Because I know my perspective might be radical. The way I see things might be very radical for most. But at the end of the day, I care about family and I care about the fact that we have a society that has lost its common sense. The society not only in this country, all over the world. And to have people cheering on someone who's neglected his family, who's leaving them with nothing, whatever, at their level, whatever. Again, at their level, no big deal. But it's happening at our level every single day. If you can cheer on that, you will cheer on the other one too. So we just want you to know, really, if it happens to you or your mother, your sister, or somebody you care about, it will not be so funny.
No.
Seen it at the bank, people coming in crying because they cannot pay for groceries because they've been Hakimi'd. We don't want that to happen. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Roy, for being here.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you. It's not the first time.
Yes, please tag, share, make a comment, let your other friends know that we are here every Wednesday. And we this is a great show, and we're trying to do everything to open conversation and to let you know that we care. We care about you. We care about your family, and we want to see where things happen.
Family comes first.
Family comes, my family first.
There's family. Without family, there's no society. No society. And
I don't care about society.
Well, you know, society is part of family, but I'm saying like without family, we are part of society. So it's very important that you don't
Yeah,
put it at
all
home
right.
so that society can be right. Because if you don't send your kids out there right, they don't become good husbands. They become Archimedes. If you don't
Yes.
send your kids out
Yeah,
right, they don't
yeah,
become good co-workers. They
Mm.
become like really nasty people that you're
exactly.
working with. God knows. Let's try to do it right. Money matters. Let's talk money with friends. Encompasses everything.